So, greetings. Hello, dear Cancer. This is Tarot Lumination with your love and relationship report for February 2018. You know the drill, like we do on the other playlists. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising, and reinterpret. Tell your own story. Read your own. Rewrite the screenplay of your life. Okay, or at least edit and revise. Okay, writing is always rewriting. So there you go. We're going to use the crucible spread, where it's on the understanding that there's you, Cancer, significant other, and the third entity, which is the relationship itself, which has its own identity, structure, and energy, purpose, mission, feeling, and all of that. Purpose. I think I said the word purposes. I wanted to add the word purpose again. Okay, there you go. Cards are well shuffled in advance, but we're going live so that you're a witness to the last second. No reversals. Sorry about that. We just keep it very simple here. Just so that you know, Cancer, there's a lot of stuff happening in the planets right now. It's a very, very active, powerful, transformative month. We've got the eclipses going on, okay? The Leo-Aquarius axis. It's very active right now. We have... let's see, Jupiter in Scorpio in your 5th house. That's all about love and relationship. Lots of revealing to be healed, okay? Lots of deep transformational soul healing that can only occur at the deepest levels of intimate exchange, okay? Healing through intimacy, let's put it that way. You can put the rest to your own imagination, okay? And the next thing we have, which I think is very important, is the Saturn in Capricorn journey, which just began a few weeks ago. And it's going to go on for 3 years, Cancer, and it's going right through your 7th house of love and relationship, primary relationships, the marriage house, the one-on-one contract house, the house of having your best possible relationship, also the house of your worst possible enemy, okay? It's that extreme. Yes, we're talking about full polarity, full opposition, okay? But that's where all the juice is. That's where all the action lies. That's where all the potential lies. It's just a lot of pressure, and there's going to be a lot of restructuring, remodeling, repurposing, and going on there, and it's for your good. It's for your good and for your loved one, okay? So let's just get into it. I think the cards are well shuffled. And the eclipses, by the way, for you, it's much more to do with like money and finances, joint finances, values, self-worth, your worth to others and things like that, which can affect the relationships, of course, especially on deep intimacy, because the new moon eclipse is happening right there in your 8th house in the middle of February. So hang in, hang tight. You're going to need it, okay? Meanwhile, let's just do a reading and have some fun, okay? So here we go. Remember, this too shall pass. All right, here we go. We're sharing our angels, by the way. Cancer, Tarot Illumination is sharing angels with you, and you've got your angels with you, whether you know it or like it or not. There you go. So this is your love energy that you're radiating, okay? And consequently, here's the energy of another. This can be what you attracted, or it can be very, very, let's say, disparate. We'll see what's happening here. With the laws of attraction, if you really want to, some people interpret these as singles reports on the understanding that we're always radiating energy, including relationship, and then by nature you would attract something like this using the laws of attraction in action, okay? So deep inside of you, what's going on at the soul level, deep inside of the other, what's going on inside of them at the soul level, and right at the core here, the very base here is the foundation itself, the relationship itself. And over here are the prospects. Where is this all going? Okay, so it's on the understanding that there's you, dear Cancer, significant other, and there is a certain degree of love here in whatever form it takes. And we intimate and we separate, but we're doing all this in the context and the structure of this crucible. And the crucible is a divine structure that we create. It's like an intellectual construct that we create between ourselves and another in order to spiritually heal and grow and evolve together. It doesn't exist in terms of physical structure. The nearest thing might be a home, a house, a bed, a family, something like that, whatever it is. So let's have a look. We're going to start with circumstantial energy, the weather, and then we're going to go from there. And you, Cancer, like all the other signs, are going to make the best of the weather. It's not going to own you, okay? You're going to make the best of it. And you've got, whew, okay. Thank you very much. There's your reading. Bye. Good luck. Have a fantastic month. It's been lovely. Bye. Ha 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 ha. Just kidding. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. If you want to, Cancer, you can think of this as a massive hose from heaven, and it's just hosing down all over you. You can also think of this as yourself as the hose, and massive, let's say, amounts of the healing power of love, the energy of heaven, are available to you to flow through you. And then the thing is, what do you do with all that? It has to be dispersed somehow, okay? So if you want to think of yourself as an instrument, literally an instrument of love and healing, an instrument of the healing power of love, that could be a good way to go. That would be a great way to make full opportunity, take full opportunity to maximize this energy of opportunity right now. And this would not be here. Let's just say that it is circumstantial, but I feel like you're in the right place at the right time with the right reason, with the right person or people for this to happen, for this extreme high degree of love to flow. It's like ultimate. It's maxed. It's totally maxed out and has the chance to grow from here. So it's very fertile for you, very fertile moment in time here. It might sound quirky because, you know, Cancer, you would think of normally Scorpio or Pisces period, or perhaps Capricorn period, or Virgo period, Taurus, or whatever, but we're in February. So it might sound odd for this kind of amazing opportunity to show up, but it's here. It's here. So let's see what the story is. Let's see. What's the story for you, Cancer? What's going on? Okay. So it's like love is as love does. If you think of love and relationship as an expendable commodity of limited resources, in other words, I know we talk a lot about like universal love, infinite love, love of brotherhood, sisterhood, humanity, and all of that, and that's great, and compassion, and everything being wonderful and idealistic all the time. That's great. But in reality, we are limited beings. We are born, we live, and then we die. And we have a certain amount of, let's say, nuggets that we can allocate in terms of love. What are you going to do with your love? Are you going to love yourself and create the most like independent, self-sustaining version of yourself possible? Yes, that is possible right now, and you're already radiating that energy. And guess what? That's probably the best thing you can do and be for a significant other, where you can be as strong and independent and individuated as you possibly can be. And that's almost like a way of saying, okay, I officially opened the doors for this amount of love to flow into my life, where your asset and your skill in terms of love and relationship is more about being the instrument, being the fountain itself, so that let's say if this was just limited and you had only these number of nuggets of love to expend, then eventually you might run out if you just squandered them, or if you just hoarded them, then no one else is going to benefit. But if you treat this as you're maximizing yourself to be a fully independent and capable fountain, where you are literally the thing through which the energy flows, then the love can flow through you, maximized in a way that's very good for you and for the other, okay? So you get the chance to be you, and they get to the chance to be themselves, and it's mutually beneficial. I know that sounds kind of contradictory, but there's no codependency possible here. It's almost like fertilizing independence, fertilizing individuation. Let's have a look at the other. Oh my gosh. So Cancer, I think you got lucky somehow. I'm kind of envious of you right now. And that happens sometimes in these readings. Dear Cancer, you might just be in a loving relationship with someone who is just the best mate for you possible. And this would cover anything from the most simple, pure, like childlike platonic love, literally loving someone very, very deeply from the soul outwards, no reservations, no worries about whether they have impediments. Do they have only one leg, or are they blind, or are they poor, or are they rich? Are they whatever, impediments or worldly detriments that might have, it kind of doesn't matter here. Okay, so with you, Cancer, you're working with someone, you're relating with someone who loves you completely, 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 for being you, for maintaining your integrity, for allowing yourself to bring this much energy into the world, not just for yourself, but for the significant other and for anyone else who, gets in the flow, who wants to stand under the fountain, so to speak, who wants to be on the receiving end of the healing power of love that ultimately emanates from this loving relationship. Let's have a look here. So also understand, dear Cancer, that there's a lot of sweetness and purity and innocence here. So in some ways, they are very, very vulnerable. So it's really important to be very, very careful, because I sense a lot of power here, Cancer. What I'm sensing is that, okay, this is great. Wouldn't it's just amazing opportunity right now for you to be literally an instrument of love and healing? Great. So we ask for the healing power of love to fill our lives, our world, our bodies, our minds from up above. And there you go. It starts to flow, and then it flows outwards. Of course, that's wonderful, but sometimes it can be overwhelming. A lot of people are not very good at receiving or accepting or allowing love to flow in their lives, including your loved one. So you have to be very, very careful, dear Cancer, that, this doesn't turn into a Niagara Falls and people go, oh, wow, I think that would be so cool. I'm just going to jump in. And then they become overwhelmed. That's all I'm trying to suggest here. So Cancer, is that it could be very easy for a significant other to almost feel overwhelmed by love at the moment, because that happens to a lot of people. When it actually real life appears in their world, it can be so disorienting that it's overwhelming. It's like standing at the edge of Grand Canyon and looking into the Grand Canyon and going, what the? And you almost faint or black out. That happens to people. Same thing at Niagara Falls, or these amazing natural phenomenon which just create a sense of awe and wonder. It can be very frightening too at the same time. So all I'm suggesting is that with great power comes great responsibility. There's a lot of love flowing here, and it's very wonderful and beautiful. It's just, please understand that we don't want to flood the situation. We don't want to drown people in all of this. This is very, very delicate energy over here, and it needs to be understood and nurtured and cared and loved like an orchid, or like a very dear, precious friend, flower, pet, animal, something like that. Let's have a look at you deep inside. Okay, Queen of Swords, energy here, deep inside. It feels to me that you have already made a decision at the soul level to cut out and block anything that would obstruct this good thing from happening. That could be persons, places, locations, ideas, concepts, situations, pre-existing lifestyles, pre-existing lifestyle package deals, pre-existing anythings that would threaten this and this, okay? Because it looks to me that there is so much love here in this relationship that it goes like this, and it turns from this to this to this. I need to adjust something on the screen. I just noticed that there's a blur thing, and I think it's to do with the lens. Stay there a second. Okay, I've got it. Hold on. I'm going to switch it. Okay, I fixed it. Sorry, I just saw that. I don't know if it's been doing that because I'm concentrating on the reading, not watching the cameras, okay? So it turns from like, you have this, Cancer, they have this. Together, you have this, and together that turns into this big time, and it multiplies and it grows and it grows, okay? So it's very, very beautiful, okay? It's very fertile. And you've already made a decision to literally kind of almost like protect and defend this completely and utterly, okay? Whatever it takes to make sure that this stays intact and beautiful for what it is, and that the innocent are protected, okay? No BS allowed. Now, that can be tough at times because they might be dealing with their own insecurities or own misunderstandings of what's going on here. Remember, this is your reading for you, dear Cancer, and it's not a couple's reading, okay? They're over here being themselves, okay? And this is very pure, very beautiful, and love and innocent. This is like the ultimate in universal love, divine love, in a way that is like the perfect mate. Literally, literally, almost like a dream come true situation for you, Cancer. But of course, it's very fragile and delicate, okay? We also have to understand that there's a lot of innocence and vulnerability here. So, it's, to me, it feels like at this level here, it's so important for you to maintain like zero tolerance for BS in the relationship, in yourself, or anything around you that could infect or betray or undermine or dissolve this or harm this, okay? This person, this energy that they have, okay? Going deep inside them, let's have a look. Okay, they might be so disoriented to some degree by what's happening that they almost really don't understand it, but it's at the point where it doesn't actually matter whether they understand it or not, or whether they see the big picture, or whether they're getting tarot readings themselves. For all we know, we don't know what's happening. Maybe you, Cancer, are doing cross-watching on them, and you're just doing all your homework on yourself to make sure that you're in fully alignment with you and your opportunities now and the situation. So that's great. Well done, Cancer. But we don't know what they're up to. You might know. I don't know. I don't know who this is. You know who this is. And so the beauty of what's happening here is that it's almost like it almost like doesn't matter what actually happens in terms of 3D, 3D life world, because we're with what's happening with the eclipses and with what's happening with Saturn and Capricorn. It's like huge new beginnings for everybody, and this is the same for you, dear Cancer, with these eclipses that are happening right now here in the February time of 2018. Think back to February 2017. What happened in your life at that time? I would not be surprised if something very, very significant happened at that time regarding love and relationship, because that was the first of those eclipses. We're in another batch right now, and we've got another batch coming up, I think, in late July, August. So please bear that in mind here. So with your significant other, it's almost like they are almost like tripping out with how wonderful it is to be in this love situation with you. Like it's a whole new life, a whole new adventure unfolding, and it almost doesn't matter what happened in the past. It's very, very liberating. It literally like starting a new life, and it's almost like fun to go without a map. It's almost like deliberately choosing to just go where the love takes you. And it's very rare that something like this happens to anybody in a lifetime, let alone a love relationship. So I feel there is immense good fortune here, and it's very, very blessed from up above, okay? So like both of you are very lucky. They're just doing their thing, and it's like this epic new journey of love, starting from scratch, from innocence, like a brand new, like a newborn. And there's so much to learn, so much to enjoy, and a whole new world to explore, because this might have been dormant for some time or lifetimes, and now it's blossoming here in this lifetime. And you, Cancer, are fertilizing this situation, bringing the nutrients, the water, the sun, the stability, the tangible evidence of love into the relationship that triggers this to blossom, okay? It's literally like tending a very delicate, beautiful plant like an orchid, and it's blossoming, okay? What is the relationship core going on at here? Okay, so at the very core, despite all this wonderful stuff going on at the moment, it could actually be kind of a puzzle. In other words, especially I'm feeling it from over here, where because we're opening up the door here to such new beginnings, such tremendous opportunity for new starts and new beginnings, that with even with all these wonderful ingredients here, what can happen is that like the moment you step out to every single step, the next step of every phase of the relationship is going to be a little bit like being in one of those amusement park maze places where it's very easy to get lost. You go in the front door, and like a little kid, you're supposed to walk around and figure out the puzzle and then come out the other side. And your parents go, "Yay, well done, little one, thank you." And then the little kid goes, "Oh, I was so scared. I didn't know what happened when I was in there. I got lost down that one, then that one, that one." You know, that's kind of what happens. That's what I'm feeling here, is that it's gonna the whole thing here is going to be like starting a new journey where it's very, very like divinely blessed, and there's like almost like an infinite supply of love as a resource for you guys. But when you actually get into it, the relationship itself could feel like a maze where you're going to need all the love that you have. Let's put it that way, because you're going to start to discover all the landmines, all the booby traps, all the hidden dead ends, all the, let's say, self defeating behaviors and attitudes and perceptions that have blocked any of this or limited any of this happening before, either in your life or their life or anyone else's life. And you're discovering it's almost like a journey. It's almost like a journey of discovery where you guys, you're both kind of going in blind to the whole thing. The relationship is not deliberately, but the relationship is obscured in so many ways that cannot be understood at first glance, but only through the living of the relationship itself. And instead of being tortured and bound up and locked up where the relationship cannot flow, if we take the attitude that the relationship can flow, when you realize and turn it into something, just by decree, say, this is going to be a wonderful adventure, and we're going to discover all the booby traps and landmines on the way. It's going to be exciting, so that we don't have to be petrified of having to live our lives feeling like we are too scared to take the next step. So there's a lot of courage here that is coming from your significant other, dear Cancer, to get into this maze with you. And it takes a lot of courage for you to get into the maze with them, the maze of the relationship. And we all deal with that to some extent. A lot of us want stability and everything to be just so that the crucible of the relationship is stable, in which you can have all your gooey moments of yummy, yummy stuff. We intimate and we separate. We have our moments of like, oh, I have to sleep on the sofa tonight. Or like, I'm going to sleep on the sofa tonight. You can go and stuff yourself. So that happens a lot in relationships, back and forth, and we intimate and separate. But right now in this reading, the relationship itself has the identity of a bit of a maze. M-A-Z-E, like a puzzle where you're going to need all this love, all your resources to wiggle your way through this. Okay, let's have a look. Prospects. Oh, okay, don't be scared. Okay, I see this is very, very much to do with the reveal it to heal it aspects of Jupiter in Scorpio in the 5th house of love and romance. What's going to happen, my feeling here, is that both of you are going to discover anything and everything that betrays the love, and anything and everything that blocks or obscures, obstructs or undermines or inhibits or defeats or defiles or betrays this, that is your opportunity at the very core. So in other words, this whole journey, this whole thing here right now is all about discovering, like the landmines, the booby traps, discovering anything and everything that does not work in this relationship in order for the love to continue to flow. In other words, it's all about removing obstacles, okay? I hope that makes sense to you. So you've got so much going for you here, Cancer, and you can see that it would be very easy to reinterpret this about as being something very scary with a scary outcome. I hope you don't see it that way. You can turn it that way if you like. If you want to look at it as like, oh, we're destined for misery and heartbreak. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Yes, you might feel that in the journey as it unfolds, but I feel that that is what needs to be revealed in order to be healed. I hope that makes sense. Okay? So this, I feel, is almost like divinely blessed. You know, it's so easy to reinterpret this in different ways if you really want to. I am just giving you the thing that I felt. I always trust my first feelings. A lot of people retract their first feelings because they're scared of them. But I'm just giving you my very first feelings, and that's what I felt. Now, if you want to retract into fear and allow yourself to be scared by these landmines and booby traps and just get stuck down a dead end in the maze, that's your choice. And then you end up with that. Okay? However, if you see this as something like this is intolerable, no BS allowed, then you can reveal all of this stuff about how you've betrayed yourself, how they have perhaps betrayed themselves and you or yourselves and each other, and how you can fix this. You might be discovering that you need professional help. You might discover that the situation is triangulated and you need help. You needs to be aware and discovered and observed and untangled and repurposed, remodeled, restructured, whatever it is. You can retell your own story, okay? Thank you so much, Cancer. I went on a little bit long there, but please make the most of it, all right? Have an excellent February.